Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time around, it is yet another installment of Physical Media Madness. And this is for the month of September. And I know I'm late. There's a reason for that. I was waiting for some stuff to ship. So that's why this video is probably going to be up in October. But I'm going to try to get the October installment up closer to the actual usual time, which is a lot earlier than right at the end of the month. But I got quite a bit of titles to show you from various different places, from Vinegar Syndrome, from Second Sight, from Amazon, from local shops here in Vancouver and in Portland, Oregon, as well as the mall and eBay and so on. Got a lot of variety here from a lot of different genres, a lot of different formats, 4K, Blu-ray, DVD, and so on. But anyway, let's just get started here. So I got some DVDs to start with. I got The Boy Who Could Fly. This is a film that I've heard of, but I've never actually seen. It's written and directed by Nick Castle. So decided to pick that up. It stars Jay Underwood. Also got this for cheap at a Goodwill. It's called Uncaged. God, it could be a dumb, fun movie, and the reason why I got it is honestly because of the fact that it's directed by Dick Moss, who did Amsterdam and The Lift and The Shaft, films that I have some fun with. So I thought it would be interesting to see his take on a Lion on the Loose movie. And speaking of animals on the loose, I also got The Pack. Now I know this is getting a Blu-ray from Shout Studios or Scream Factory, but I was okay with the DVD because I've never seen the film. I don't want to spend like 25, close to $30 on a Blu-ray of a movie I don't even know if I even like. That I, if I remember correctly, is pretty bare bones. Got this. It's a film called No Telling. It's from the director of Habit and Wendigo, Larry Fessenden. Um, I think this might have been his first film, or at least one of his first movies that he's done. So No Telling. Got this animated movie, The Batman versus Dracula. This is a spin-off of the Batman series. For some reason, this is not included in the Blu-ray set. So in order to have a complete collection, I had to get this. I actually bought this twice because I thought I bought this already from another shop when I bought some stuff online. But when I picked up the items for pickup, this was not included. So I bought this now two times, but this is the only time where I actually was able to get the DVD in my hands. I also got the Drawn Together movie. The movie, I remember watching this on Comedy Central when it premiered. I haven't seen it since though, and I haven't watched the cartoon in years either. I have the first two seasons. I would like to get the third season to complete the collection because I remember enjoying the show. It's raunchy, it's over the top, it's definitely politically incorrect, but that's kind of what makes it even funnier nowadays because it's so anti PC. And yeah, it's definitely not for everyone though. I can see why some people just think it's just nothing but shock humor, and that's about it. Pick this up for the Ernest collection. This is Ernest's Wacky Adventures. This is Volume One. This includes Ernest in the Army, Ernest Rides Again, and some Ernest clip shows. If you are a fan of Ernest, well, I got some good news for you. I'm going to be reviewing Ernest movies throughout the month of October because it was a paid request. I know October is horror month, and Ernest doesn't necessarily 100% fall into that line of films, but one of them does, and Scared Stupid, so it still kind of counts. And, you know, I'm not going to make someone wait an entire month for a request. I'm not doing that. This one, though, I honestly feel that I should have waited and not even bothered buying, because even though I got this for super cheap, and I really only got it because the DVD is apparently kind of hard to find, and it kind of looked interesting, because it's based on a science fiction novel or short, book, and it stars Bruce Davison. But then I popped it in my player, and this has the worst picture quality I've ever seen in my entire life. There's visible ghosting on the video. So what that's just unacceptable. I don't even know why they even released it to begin with. If they even said like, "Oh, this is the best that we could find because of the age of the source material." I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, don't even release this shit. It's unwatchable. It's not just the ghosting, like the overall picture quality is just shoddy as hell. Also picked this up for the collection. He Said, She Said, because I am a big fan of Kevin Bacon, and I didn't mind she's having a baby, so maybe this is kind of a similar sort of thing. Got this, the Super with Joe Pesci. I've been trying to find this DVD for years, so when I finally found this recently, I was really pumped because I first saw this on VHS and it surprised me. And yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite Joe Pesci movies. Like I really enjoy him in that. I think it's honestly pretty underrated. Got this for the collection and just for just the craziness and because of the fact that it's getting to be pretty hard to find. And it was a affordable price. This is Stan Lee's Stripperella. And I love how it says season 1. There was only one season. There was no season 2. Yeah, this is when Stan Lee teamed up with Spike TV and made a adult cartoon starring Pamela Anderson and her assets. I mean, only only on Spike TV. And speaking of TV, I got this set, All in the Family, the complete series. This is actually the legit set. This is not a bootleg. Apparently, this has been bootlegged quite a bit online. I was familiar with this show, but I've never actually watched it. I watched a documentary about the making of the show and the legacy of the show, and I thought it was great. And I was like, you know what? If I see this show somewhere for a good price, I'm gonna pick it up. And I saw it at a local shop, and it was an affordable price, so I grabbed it. And I watched a pilot episode recently from season 1, and I was really surprised by how funny it still was for a show from 1970. So yeah, looking forward to checking out the rest of that series, All in the Family. Um, Here's some more randomness. Got The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp for the collection. Got Unstoppable with Chris Pine and Denzel Washington because I wanted to get it for the Tony Scott collection. Also, I've heard some good things about this, and I never actually seen the movie. So Unstoppable, A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger, film that I've never seen trailers for, but I've never actually seen. Uh, Tootsie. Uh, this is the Criterion release. I got it from a local record shop. I really like this film. I think it's one of Dustin Hoffman's best. I think it's one of Sidney Pollack's best. I think it's a really funny movie. It's got a great cast. Yeah, you even have a young Bill Murray in this, as well as Jessica Lange. Uh, no, it's not. No, it's not Jessica Lange. It's yeah, Jessica Lange is in it. Yeah, breakthrough role for Jessica Lange and Terry Garr. Yeah, really enjoy that movie, and I only had it on DVD. Then I also got Miracle for the collection because I only had that one on DVD. So picked that one up on Blu-ray, and it was like brand new and like super cheap. Got this one. This is called Killer's Delight. This is from Vinegar Syndrome. They had a sale recently where they marked down a ton of stuff. So I decided to take advantage of it because for once it was actually some good deals. So Killer's Delight. Alien Private Eye. What are those like just low budget B movies? Uh, Probably a piece of shit, but the budget was low, but the price was low too, and that's really the main reason why I got it. Also, I think the special features might be interesting. Beware Children at Play. Uh, Auntie Lee's Meat Pies. This is like a horror comedy that has Pat Morita in it. Uh, Got this film called Nothing Underneath. I think it's a double feature. Yeah, it has Nothing Underneath and then Too Beautiful to Die. So yeah, it has two. Yeah, it has two films on it. Nothing Underneath and Too Beautiful to Die. I do have some more Vinegar Syndrome releases as well, but I got some more DVDs here. Got this TV show, Super Force, the complete collection. This is one of those shows that I think was like was syndicated or something. It's in the vein of like Mantis and The Flash and RoboCop the series from the early 90s. Like yeah, it's from 1990 to 1992. This was available on Amazon for a while, but it was not available recently, and so I decided to grab it off of eBay because I didn't want to pay crazy prices for this show if it ultimately does go out of print, like something like Hardcastle and McCormick, which goes for like $200 for the complete set or more. I will say this though, this shit is fucking cheap as hell. Like, are you kidding me with this fucking packaging? Just come on now with this bullshit. Really? This packaging? Like, what a cheap fucking release. Super Force got this for the collection, A Dirty Shame. I've been trying to find this DVD for years. This is another big title for me in terms of being able to cross it off the wish list. And the reason for that is because yes, I am a fan of John Waters, but this is the NC-17 cut, and that's the one I've been trying to find forever. And it's been on my wish list on Amazon for years. The reason for that is because I saw bits and pieces of this on TV. I think it might have been on like IFC or Bravo back in the day, and I was just completely gobsmacked by just how fucking raunchy and insane this movie was. Like this was like the first film that I think I ever saw that was directed by John Waters. So I definitely have a bit of nostalgia for that one, and I've always wanted to revisit it or at least watch the entire thing because I don't even think I even watched the entire movie, and it just took me forever to find it. And I also got this film, Wild Zero. This is a pretty nutty film from Synapse. It's a Japanese rock and roll zombie horror movie. And I'm like, yeah, that's totally up my alley. Got this film, it's called Puzzlehead. It's like a, yeah, it's a independent horror movie. But yeah, it's like a witty mix of Frankenstein and Eraserhead. And I'm like, okay, you sold me. You sold me. I'll give that a shot someday. Got this. This is really trippy, weird take on Alice in Wonderland from overseas with a lot of like stop motion animation and claymation and stuff like that. And I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff too, so definitely wanted to grab that. Um, got some 4Ks here. Speaking of 4K, I think I have one other. Yeah, I'm gonna grab it real quick. I gotta grab them. It's actually three of them. We're close enough, so here we are. So got King Kong, the Peter Jackson film. This is the Ultimate Edition. because the 4K was pretty cheap, and I only had it on Blu-ray. Here we have Zootopia. I actually really enjoyed this movie, and Wally, and got these for pretty cheap. Normally, these Disney 4Ks are not cheap, so I got a good deal on those. Got these from Amazon. Wayne's World, the 4K release, and Sleepy Hollow on in 4K. Those were all pre-orders. Well, I mean, Sleepy Hollow was. Wayne's World was something that I ordered when it was like 9.99, and then waited like a month or two until it finally shipped out from Amazon. Here we have some more stuff from the Vinegar Syndrome sale. Smile, Wacko, Hellmaster, Death by Temptation, Blood Delirium. Pretty cool cover art. Good, nice looking slipcover. This is a pretty recent release too, I think, from Vinegar Syndrome. So I heard some intriguing things about it, so I decided to pick it up because it was on sale. Got this. It's called Her Smell. This is a pretty unique box. Yeah, it's a pretty cool looking set. Good deal on it too. I like Elizabeth Moss. I didn't mind the trailer for it. It looked like it might be kind of interesting. And yeah, the slipcover's unique because it looks like it's a magazine cover from back in the day. And then here's the release. I mean, the actual poster that they used here for the slip. So yeah, pretty cool looking set here. Her Smell, Boarding House. The I think it's like the first. I don't know why I whistled there. I think it's like the first shot on video horror film, or one of them. It's like right up there with like Blood Cult when it comes to being the first ever. And this is remastered, at least to the best of their ability. Um, I also like the fact that this is a co-production with Bleeding Skull, who wrote some really entertaining books about 80s and 90s horror films. Boarding House. I actually have the VHS of Boarding House. It's one of the rarer tapes that I have in my collection. I got it at Value Village, back when Value Village was still a thing here in Vancouver. So I have a little bit more of one stack here, and then I got one more after that, and then that's it. This one I actually picked up today. This is the Devil's Carnival. This is actually a Blu-ray DVD set, but it's in a DVD box, which, you know, is really lame, but got a really good deal on this. I paid less than $1 for this because it was in the clearance section. So can't really beat that. And the reason why I got it is because looked like it could be interesting, and also was on my wish list because this is from the makers of Repo the Genetic Opera, which is something I've heard about but I haven't actually seen. And I decided, yeah, I did pick that up as well on Blu-ray from the same place because I've heard some interesting things about it, and I like musicals, and I specifically like horror musicals. So I decided it would be a fun potential watch. Here we have Nightman. This is the complete collection. This is a release from Lionsgate. Nightman's a show that I remember watching bits and pieces of on TV when I was a kid. So it's another companion piece to something like the Flash 1990 show or Black Scorpion. And I'm into those 90s superhero shows. Uh featuring superheroes in, super suits fighting crime. And this also has a theme song that's all done in sweet saxophone. Like it really, and the guy, the hero, he his name is Johnny Domino, and he plays the sax. So yeah, it's just such an oddity. Uh, but I wanted to get this for the longest time, but it just wasn't really that affordable. And then I got it for a pretty good price, used at a local store. Speaking of pretty good price, the only reason why I got this is for curiosity's sake, because I am a fan of Child's Play. Uh, but also because it was super cheap. It was only like $7.99, so it was really cheap for season one. Like on even on DVD, unless you find it at like your local thrift shop that's only charging like $3 per DVD. Other than that, like good luck finding that for that cheap, even on DVD. And speaking of stuff on DVD, I got the complete series of News Radio. So I got the first and the second seasons, and then I also got the complete third season. And I decided to pick this show up because I really like the cast. I mean, I'm a big fan of a lot of people involved with the cast here. I mean, Phil Hartman, the late great Phil Hartman, I love. I like Dave Foley, and heard some good things about it too from fans of sitcoms and comedy and stuff like that. And we've got the fourth season, and then the fifth season, which I believe is after Phil Hartman's unfortunate passing, and they replaced his character with John Lovitz. And yeah, that was definitely the death knell of that show. Um, I'm gonna save these two for last. Actually, here we have a whole bunch of second sight releases. Most of them are in 4K. Got The Guest. Um, did not have this film in 4K. Only had the US Blu-ray. Dog Soldiers. Big fan of this movie. It's one of my favorite werewolf films. I didn't even have this on Blu-ray or any HD format until I picked this up. And Second Sight outdid themselves. Like, this is the best the film has ever looked. Really good looking transfer. Got this as well because I only had the Blu-ray from Scream Factory, and this also looks really good. I like this film. I know it's not for everybody, but I do like it, that movie. But this film I love. I love It Follows, and this is another really great release from Second Sight. I mean, I know they did like a limited box set, but I don't really care about that, to be honest. It was pretty expensive too, and I'm fine with just having the regular, just non-limited release. Um, because with Second Sight, like the box sets, like you're just paying for the cardboard, you're paying for the box that the movie comes in, and like a poster and like lobby cards and stuff, and like a book that has some essays on the movie. You're not paying for anything else. You're not paying for extra features. You're not paying for a different transfer of the movie or anything. So to me, I just go with the regular release because it's a lot cheaper. And then I also got May. I only had this on DVD. So yeah, Second Sight just killing it once again, just doing a great job. Definitely one of my favorite boutique labels. And then just a bunch of Blu-rays. Let's do a speed run. Dangerous liaisons. I guess it got really dangerous there. Repo the Genetic Opera, like I said. Um, A League of Their Own. Really enjoy this movie. There's no crying in baseball. The Handmaid's Tale, the film version, not the TV show. Piranha Double D, because I only had it on DVD, and I wanted to complete my Piranha collection. Leap of Faith, William Friedkin on The Exorcist. Uh, I like William Friedkin as a director, and I like The Exorcist, so decided to pick that up. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City for the Resident Evil collection. I know it's not the 4K. I'm okay with that. I got a good deal on it. Crank 2 High Voltage. Here's a crazy story about this release. For some poor souls, they got a Blu-ray of this that has like like one of the worst, weirdest glitches or issues involving a Blu-ray I can think of, where I think it's like the aspect ratio was like shrunk and like tiny, which is ridiculous. I don't know how it even got released that way. So for some people, they get a release of Crank 2 that's basically unwatchable. So it's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to which version you're gonna get. And I got lucky, and I didn't get the one that's all fucked up. And I'm not sure whether or not it's a shrunken aspect ratio that's the problem again. I thought that's what I read, but I might be wrong. If anyone is aware of that, feel free to clarify that for me. But yeah, it's a really weird thing. So bizarre. Got Sharky's Machine with Burt Reynolds for the Burt Reynolds collection. Only had the DVD of that one. And then the last one, in terms of just a regular Blu-ray, is the Psycho remake. And the reason for that is only $5. I'm like, sure, for the collection, I'll grab it for $5. Um, and speaking of Psycho films, I know Era Video just did a box set with all four of them, and I don't know. I mean, I like the second film a lot, and I don't mind Psycho 3, but I mean, I wouldn't say I don't mind. I mean, I do like Psycho 3, but like I don't really care for 4, and the first film I already have in 4K. So it's one of those things where it's like I wouldn't mind maybe getting a box set someday down the road, but the thing is I just honestly would like to get the second movie on its own in 4K or 3. But Arrow's not offering that option, which is a bummer. But you know who did offer a really awesome option is Paramount. They offered the ability to get H2O, Halloween H2O in 4K without paying Scream Factory the absurd amount of money for their release. So I pre-ordered this from Amazon months ago. Got this recently. This is the Halloween H2O Collector's Edition Steelbook, and yeah, I really like this release. Now, it's not what I would say, I guess, the best when it comes to special features, because there are none. So that's disappointing. They don't carry over any of the features from the Scream Factory release on Blu-ray or the 4K, but you do get pretty much the same. Uh, um, you do pretty much get the same release in terms of the transfer. So it's pretty much identical when it comes to that. I just also just really like the little slipcover here. It really actually adds to the steelbook and makes it and I like the fact that it has the title on it, and you can keep this thing, and you can actually keep it connected to the set, and it's not gonna like fall off. And then at the same time you can actually just open the 4K without this just being a pain in the ass. So I really do like that. And yeah, it's bare bones. Even the menu is bare bones. But if you don't have the Scream Factory box set with this and Six and Resurrection, it's a good buy. It's a good pickup, and I'm glad that they did it, even if it is bare bones, because now I don't have to pay crazy amount of money to Scream Factory for their box set, because I don't care. I'm fine with having Six and Resurrection only on Blu-ray in the Halloween box set that I already have. And last but not least is what is kind of like a holy grail for a lot of 4K or Blu-ray collectors at the moment. Lawrence of Arabia. This is the collector's edition. This is the 4K set. Now, I don't have the thing that was glued on the top because, unlike the H2O thing, there's no slipcase to keep it on. Uh, But yeah, this is Lawrence of Arabia. Now, I've heard a lot of good things, a lot of great things about this movie, but I've never seen it. I only had it on DVD prior to this. And I mainly got this release because I heard it's just so good in terms of picture quality. Like, it's just unbelievable and just amazing. And I checked it out a little bit, and yeah, it is pretty fucking great looking. It is pretty fucking stunning. But it should be. I think they used a 70 millimeter print for the remaster, if I remember correctly. So yeah, Lawrence of Arabia, the collector's edition steelbook. Now that is it for the titles that I picked up. And speaking of speedrun, I'm going to do a speedrun through Dawn of the Discs. You got High Tension. If you're a fan of that movie, it's coming out with a limited special edition 4K. I think there's also going to be a non-limited edition 4K from Second Sight later. Yeah, in November. Arrow Video is doing a Child's Play box set. It includes all of the Child's Play films and a documentary called Living with Chucky, but with just butt ugly artwork. And the first Child's Play film is not in 4K. And it's not even the remastered version of that movie either. It's the 2012 release. So you don't even get a remaster version of Child's Play. You don't even get it in 4K, even if you pay for the 4K box set. And the reason for that is because for some reason Amazon, who owns MGM, didn't want to license Child's Play in 4K to the UK, which I think is a bunch of bullshit. But yeah, that's a set that's disappointing. I mean, the artwork sucks. It doesn't have anything in terms of new features other than the Living with Chucky documentary, which you can already buy separately. And the 4K is not included when it comes to the first film, which is, in my opinion, the best movie in the franchise. So it's one of those things where it's like, wow, you got the shaft there if you're in the UK. Now, what I'm more excited about when it comes to Arrow Video and upcoming releases is The Warriors. The Warriors is getting a 4K release from Arrow with both versions of the movie. It has the version with the comic book stuff, which is just dumb and unnecessary, and the original theatrical version, which is the main reason why I am so excited to get it, because I haven't seen the theatrical version in HD ever. I've only seen it on like DVD. So I'm really excited to check out the theatrical cut in HD and in 4K. So, yeah. Sorry, I had a little bit of indigestion there because I just thought about the Warriors director's cut. Arrow's also doing The Day of the Locust, if that's a film that interests you. Um, Warner's doing The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. They're doing a 4K of that. It's going to be coming out soon. Just looking through, scrolling through here some more. Scream Factory, they're doing the Blob remake. No new features, which is to be expected. But they are using a new 4K master of the film, and it's going to be in 4K. I would like to get that, but I'm not in a rush. Even though I love that movie, I mean, it's right behind me. The poster for that film is right behind me, but I don't really need to rush and get the 4K at this point. The Blu-ray looks really good anyway, and it's just the same features. Fargo's getting a 4K from Shout Select. That's one I'm really excited about. Think that's a classic. So pretty pumped about that. Duel's getting a 4K. I know it's getting there was like a regular. Yeah, this is a regular version. There's a limited version as well, but there's a regular edition that is not as much. You've got Death Wish, the Death Wish remake. Yeah, but Bruce Willis is getting a 4K from Shout Factory or Shout Studios. I think that's a waste of 4K, but I don't mind the movie, but I really don't think that that's anything that is really that necessary. Vinegar Syndrome released their upcoming titles for Black Friday, at least some of them. They had their flash pre-order sale. Fatal Games, The Prophecy 1 through 3, this box set with like 10 shitty movies that pretty much nobody's ever heard of, and Daryl, which is their latest VSU release. And I'm like, Daryl? Like, I don't mind Daryl, but like, really? Daryl? Fatal Games, though, I actually did order. I ordered Fatal Games, and I ordered, I believe, some other movie. Um, the name escapes me at this moment, but yeah, I ordered another film from the Vinegar Syndrome uh, Black Friday Flash pre-order sale. Speaking of pre-orders, I also pre-ordered Blue Steel, which is coming out in November from Vestron Video, because I like that film and I only had it on DVD. So it's really cool that that's getting a Blu-ray release. And my most anticipated release of this year, at least until The Abyss is officially announced, is the Monster Squad 4K from Kino Lorber. It's coming out in November. I am really, 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 really psyched about that, because if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of the Monster Squad. I love the Monster Squad. It's one of my favorite films. I had been talking about, hey, can somebody do a 4K of this movie? It's honestly in pretty dire need of it, so they can save the features and legacy features and preserve them, as well as provide a new transfer of the movie, because the transfer is kind of dated. That's being used for the Lionsgate release that's out of print and the All of Films release. So Kino came to the rescue here, and I am so excited for that. Cannot wait to get that in my hands. So yeah, the Monster Squad 4K. There's also, I'm trying to look through here, seeing anything else. I already mentioned Barbarella and Tremors 2. Yeah, because the Dawn of the Discs guy, he took a pretty extended break uh, throughout a good chunk of September, so he doesn't really have a lot of updates. So I might have missed something in terms of something that might be coming up, but really the big thing for me is the Monster Squad. And I'll take this time to just do a quick little rant on a release that came out from Warner Brothers, The Exorcist. And the reason for that is twofold. They used the same version of the movie that was altered by Friedkin many years later, in terms of messing with the color timing during the exorcism scene, which is unfortunate. And in 4K, from what I've read, it looks glaringly bad. And also the 4K release, unless you buy the crazy expensive UK Steelbook collector's edition, it doesn't have any features. There's no special features on the 4K of The Exorcist. So if you have that box set that has the film and like a bunch of other documentaries and stuff on it, or you have the Leap of Faith documentary on Blu-ray, like I just picked up recently, hold on to those, because you're not getting any of that in the 4K set, the 4K release, at least in the US, of The Exorcist, which I just find to be insane. It's The Exorcist. I mean, even if you're not a fan of the film, you are pretty much aware of its impact on cinema and in the genre of horror. And for it to just get a bare bones release from Warner Brothers is absolutely ridiculous to me. It's enough to make your head spin around and puke green vomit everywhere. But anyway, yeah, that's really all I got to say in terms of upcoming releases that are going to be coming out soon. Anyway, thanks for watching this month's installment of Physical Media Madness. I recorded some footage of me in some of the stores, some of the shops that I picked some stuff up throughout the month of September. But I think I'm going to save that for next month's video because it's gonna take me a while to kind of go through them and edit the clips and kind of figure out where they fit. So I think I'll just save that for October. But anyway, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. See ya.